Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. I'm your host, Rudo, joined by AJ Hafley and Jesse Montano. As the Avs, nothing is confirmed yet other than Sampo Ranta has been sent back to the Colorado Eagles, but looks like some more guys might be getting healthy. There are some rumors swirling about potential call-up options coming from the Eagles, so we're probably going to get into a little bit of the Avs roster situation and maybe take a little bit of a look at how they are developing prospects currently. But let's start with the news we do know. Sampo Ranta played 10 games to start the season with the Avs, is now getting sent to the Eagles. Let's be real. 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 points. There is a reason why he's not sticking with the Avs.
Yeah, for me, it was one of those things like when I watched him last year in the playoffs, those couple games he had, for him being a young kid, honestly, the fact, he didn't get any goals, anything like that, but he was out there, he survived, he was passable. In an NHL playoff game, I was totally fine with that. You're now, 10 games into a regular season. If you're going to be sticking in the lineup, you can't just be out there barely getting by. So yeah, no real surprise.
Yeah.
And barely getting by might even be generous, given everything we were just kind of talking about.
It is. I think barely getting by might be generous. Barely getting by on the offensive side, I think is fair. And then, not everything is his fault, as we'll get into, but.
Yeah, let's be real on it, because I think that's a really good place to start there. Not everything is his fault.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Too often when we get into when we criticize a player or whatever, there are too many people in the world who take it as Sampo Ranta is the reason why the Avalanche are losing games or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's whoa.
Slow it down.
He plays 10 minutes a night. Chill out. Let's whoa.
For a guy who has 30 seconds of penalty kill time, there's always 4 other skaters on the ice when he's playing, is what I'm saying. So
yeah. There's context here. There's, we're gonna get into the numbers, which are bad, but also it's not 100% on him. It doesn't mean he's a bad prospect. It doesn't mean he's a bad player. More than anything, it just shows that he wasn't ready, which was something that we had all really felt was true coming into the season. And we were pretty surprised that he got the opening night look and then got 10 games on top of it, because it just find a high watermark. What's 10 games? What's the Sampo Ranta memory? And you can't say that it's a loud goal.
Well, there it goes. It's gone.
What's the memory? What's the most positive contribution you can remember off the top of your head in 10 games of Sampo Ranta?
1 strong net drive.
That's the one I remember. The one where he lost the puck in the second or third game.
Yep.
That's it. There was also he had the one net front scoring chance. The puck popped out from behind and he was out for and it got stopped.
Yep. Right into the chest, kind of. But
he also had that moment a couple nights ago when you had him, AJ, as first score of the game. He drove the net. I thought he was going to bang home that rebound. He did a good job getting a stick on a bouncing puck.
That backhand. Yep. That was competitive play.
And so for me,
a lot of money too.
and not to get too far ahead, but honestly, that is the stuff that I am trying to take out of this. AJ, to your point, this does not mean he's a bad prospect. I actually take it as the exact opposite. To me, this shows that he is still a really good prospect. He came out of camp. He showed enough in camp to stick. They had a couple early season, even with the injuries, guys like Alex Newhook, Maltsev getting sent down. He did something that the coaching staff liked enough for him to stick. And he's just not quite there yet. But to me, I don't think that this should be any reason for people to be down on him. When you think about it, you saw those, albeit small, but they were flashes, right? Flashes in the pan of him being able to compete at this level. Obviously not the step that anybody was hoping for, looking for, not what the coaching staff was wanting out of him when they decided to keep him around, then keep him around for 10 games. But moments here and there where, he goes down to the AHL. If he can build on that, I still think you have a really exciting prospect here.
So, and I do think this is a good thing from the organizational side as well. It's pretty clear there's something they like in Sampo Ranta, and we've seen this start to happen a little bit more with players in the organization for the Avs. A couple of years ago, they gave Martin Kaut 9 games, things like that. But this is the first time we've really seen them give a prospect a real proper look, even when they maybe weren't playing the best. They gave Ranta the full 10 games to say, let's see what you have. It's now clear that he's just not ready. So he's going to go back to the AHL, get to work on whatever he needs to work on in the Avs' eyes, and you go from there. From a standpoint of tracking a player's development, I think it's certainly a lot better look to see a guy get an opportunity like that. Now, you can have a conversation about guys that they haven't done that with, but that's not for today's show. A lot of things I think positive around Sampo Ranta. But
so
go ahead.
Can I ask real fast though, just in terms of that, just your guys' kind of opinion, because this to me, I do kind of look at it because Rudo, I really agree. Like, it is nice to see them give this extended look, right? Like, that's what this fan base has been asking for several years. Give these guys a look. Do you think, and maybe, these first 10 games are a bad example, but do you think this is them saying, hey, we finally have a roster where we're in the, at a standpoint where we can give someone an extended look and maybe a little bit more sheltered minutes? As over the last few years, they've had to have every single point. So some of those guys, you think about AJ Greer is the one that, I know most people would pound the table over. Do you think maybe just where they are at organizationally is playing any type of role in this?
I think it helps. I think it's also a bit of a mindset shift as well, too, right? Like, they didn't need every single point last year, and they weren't super willing to give Kaut a lot of opportunity. Yes, he did not play well in the handful of NHL games he got, but he didn't get an opportunity like Sampo got this year, and like Martin Kaut is still getting this year. Kind of skimmed over in this is Martin Kaut is still on the NHL roster. He's also someone who has 0 points, hasn't been particularly effective as far as getting on the score sheet and things like that.
Pretty similar, actually, there to Kaut and Ranta this year, where you look at it, you say, nothing bad is, for the most part, nothing bad is happening with them out there. It was more true of Kaut than Ranta, because Ranta was on the ice for, I think, 4 or 5 goals against.
I think it was 5, yeah.
And only 1 goal for, and I can't say that I have Kaut's numbers in front of me, but I don't know that he was involved in a whole lot of on ice activity.
After game 7 or 8, I think he'd actually been on ice for 0 goals against. And but his, which like didn't add up with his expected goals against, but
sure.
When a dude's getting saves, a dude's getting saves.
Yeah, that's the thing though, is that none of them are doing anything offensively. Like, bad things aren't happening to them defensively, which is where I think they're earning chances. They're earning a leash,
sure,
because they're not out there getting them. I mean, what happened? Why is Mikhail Maltsev in the AHL? Why was he sent to the AHL?
He had one brutal defensive game.
Yeah, because in a game where Colorado's top line was humming, he was the primary guy responsible for 2 goals in the Tampa Bay game.
Yep.
And that's just problematic.
Yeah,
like that was the big difference between why Maltsev's leash didn't exist and why Kaut and Ranta and some of these other Magna's he's the AHL vet guy that we talk about, but he's pretty much in the same boat.
He's making a living on nothing happening.
Bad things aren't happening to him on the ice, so they're getting opportunity to go out there and have more bad things not happen to them.
Yeah.
But and they're not creating, like, in the world of how difficult is this to develop stuff, like those guys aren't doing anything offensively. None of them are doing anything offensively. So, you know, it's not a it's like the defensively you can live with what you're getting. I think more so in Coutts' case than Ranta's case, but offensively, all of them have to step up.
You got to have
the entire bottom six has to step up. Tyson Jost has to step up. Darren Helm has to step up. Logan O'Connor. I'm pretty happy with Logan O'Connor, save for the one big mistake the other day. Like I'm good with LOC, but what I'm saying, like that whole like group offensively needs more
production.
Needs to do something, man. Something.
Certainly the guys that are getting more minutes, you know, it ends up being the Helms of the world that play third line level minutes when the Avs have guys out and injured. And Helm has 1 goal this year.
Yeah.
And granted,
I thought he had 2.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's only the 1. Unless either way.
Right, yeah. 1 or 2.
I say that. But McKinnon only has 1 goal this year. It is 1.
Yeah, it's 1. Yeah, Darren Helm has 1 point in 10 games.
Yeah, the point is where I was getting to. Is you look at the Avs bottom guys, and outside of JT Compher, the production is 1 point, 2 points.
Yeah, and Compher's comes with 2 notable asterisks. His production's not coming at 5-on-5.
Yep,
and he's getting
top 6 minutes, really.
Well, and Compher's getting obliterated analytically.
That's true too. Yeah. So even then, it's a weird mix in the bottom 6 right now as it stands.
I do want on the on this front of Ranta before we move on.
Yeah, I do at least actual numbers.
Yeah, I do at least want to, when we say it's been bad, I want to make sure that we actually put it out there for the world to understand. It's been bad. 10 games, 91 minutes and 37 seconds of time on ice at 5-on-5. I'm only going to look at 5-on-5 numbers. 44% Corsi, 43% Fenwick, 44% actual shots on goal, 16% goals for. That's 1 goal for and 5 against.
That's so bad.
48% scoring chances, 50% high danger chances. That's the one where you're like, hey, he's created a bunch.
Has he created a bunch or is he limiting them?
It's 15-15.
So.
Your guys' obsession with McDermott when he's not even fucking playing, I swear. His PD. Now this is where you look at Ranta and you say he's been a little bit of bad luck here. On ice shooting percentage is 2.27, which, come on. His PDO is 933. On ice save percentage is 9107, which is
pretty normal.
Yeah, that's right in the range of
Now, here's my thing, and you went over this with us a little bit before the show. He has, if you included his power play time, he has 9 shots on goal.
Yep.
In 10 games.
At all strengths, 9 shots.
So he is
in 20 shot attempts.
Playing it on a line that is clearly shooting horribly. One of my concerns is Ranta was a guy who could finish in the NCAA. Yeah. Like a big selling point for him was he has a very good shot. And we just haven't seen it at all this season.
Well, and I feel like maybe that's why he's gotten a couple of he was maybe kind of the first prospect that's gotten this a little bit more of an extended look. Even when you bump him up next to a guy like Martin Kaut, maybe that is what the coaching staff was seeing is, hey, this kid's, what we just talked about, he's doing all right in the defensive zone. He's not making any real glaring errors himself. And they were just kind of hoping and waiting for that goal scoring touch, that easy goal to come. And it never really did. There was a comment. Go ahead.
Well, even when you look at the disallowed goal, right? It's a tip in play. It's not him
nice
firing
tip.
a puck.
Right.
Yeah, that's Martin Kaut's shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe that was what it was. Maybe that's why he was kind of the first real prospect that comes to mind that has gotten this real extended look was, hey, we know that he's going to, put home a couple nice, easy goals and get himself rolling. And just with that never coming, I mean, honestly, when you think about it, those shot numbers make sense based on what, if you start kind of thinking back over these first 10 games, like, yeah, that sounds about right. Like, honestly, that's just shocking to me, given the type of player he is, the type of player he was at college. Like, that is just a surprising number when you think about it from that standpoint.
Definitely.
It plays into some of the big concerns with his game, right? His concern is always going to be, is he going to be able to think the game at an NHL level? And so far in the offensive zone, he hasn't been able to find the openings. We'll put it that way, particularly often.
And you do wonder because does anybody know off the top of their head how many AHL games he got in last season? I can look it up.
It was not many.
It might be less than 10, I want to say. Yeah.
And maybe that is something where, this is just him getting acclimated.
He had 14 regular season games and 2 playoff games.
So that's not a ton, but
he had 7 points in the regular season and 2 points in 2 playoff games for the Eagles last year.
So yeah, maybe this is something where it's just, hey, he is still getting used to that pro speed, and maybe, we've become a little impatient with guys because especially this organization, for several years there, you had guys that were jumping straight to the NHL or, in Mikko Rantanen's case under Patrick Waugh, you kind of forget that he was, I believe, what was it? Co-MVP or co-rookie of the year in the AHL. Like he had a great AHL year.
Yeah. He was 18 years old.
Right. But, and then it was one of those things where right as he jumped in the NHL, it just seemed to kind of click. So maybe there is just a little bit of us, around the Avs where it's like, oh man, we do have to remember that, hey, this is still a kid who's acclimating to pro hockey, coming out of college. It's a big step up. I really do. I think AHL time is going to be really, really good for Ranta. I'm still really high on this kid as a prospect. Rudo, to your point, once everything starts making a little bit more sense for him at the pro level, the game slows down a bit. He gets used to finding those lanes and understanding that, hey, those lanes are going to close quicker. You've got to create your own space a little bit more. You can't just walk through 3 guys like you could on some nights when he was in college, right? Playing against, some of the lesser D1 competition.
Not really what he did either. He was the guy that went, he went way out wide on the right side,
he
cut
did
hard to the net,
right.
Slammed pucks home through 5 holes of bad goalies.
Yeah. And so maybe it's just going to take him just a little bit longer to get there. But I still have full faith that this is going to be a really good prospect for the Avs. Maybe not even full-time this season, but this is still a guy that I definitely see is coming in the pipeline that can definitely help with the wing issues.
AJ kind of made this point about Newhook a couple days ago, but Ranta is absolutely not a guy you want to jerk around. You've sent him to the AHL, give him 25, 30 games minimum down there before you start considering bringing him back up.
Don't think about bringing Ranta, barring any more like injury craziness.
Yeah, of course, if you're desperate, you're desperate.
That always changes the equation here. But barring any of that, for me, just personally, I don't look at bringing Ranta back up until the new year.
Yeah,
I leave him down there and let him make sure that he's good.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to circle back to that thought, but I know we're kind of running long on this segment, but I do want to circle back to that thought.
We will get back to that thought for sure. If you need reminders to get back to some of your thoughts, like taking care of your teeth, Green Mountain Dental Group has you covered. Why not? Why not? Just 15 minutes from downtown Denver. They are a family-owned dentist that have been there for a very long time. They've been with us for a very long time. They know what they're doing. They take care of your teeth, and they want to help you take care of your teeth. They're giving you a free Sonicare toothbrush when you schedule a cleaning, x-ray, and exam with them. They're super fast. They're super easy. Check them out if you haven't already. Tons of people have switched, and they've all told us they do a great job. So I don't really know what a better endorsement is than when I hear from people that our sponsors are amazing. So that's what I'm going with. That's the best endorsement I can give. Also, be sure to check out Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. 8 different kinds on tap down at the bar. You can also get it at your local liquor store anywhere in the lower 48 officially now. I actually at my local, the Christmas kegs are out already. So I'm going to have to pick one of the Christmas kegs up. Maybe I'll bring it to Friendsgiving. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, check out Breckenridge Brewery. Their Breck Beer Locator online can tell you what types of beer you can find near you. And now's a great time to sign up for the DNVR annual membership. You may have noticed the significant uptick in content from the Avs beat this week. That's the new normal, baby. With all the faces we got on the beat, we're gonna bury you guys in Avalanche coverage this year. So hope you're ready for it. Hope you want to get in on it. If you're not sure, you're on the fence about getting a DNVR membership, you can get your first month for 50 cents. So I guarantee you our coverage is worth 50 cents. I think it's worth well more than what you pay for the annual membership, which also gives you a free shirt, 22-ounce beers at the bar, access to the DNVR lounge, a whole bunch of other stuff too. So, yeah, I think we're well worth the money. Consider supporting us. Check us out. Get all of our dope content. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast, presented by Draft Sportsbook. AJ reading the chat over here.
Baja Blast.
He's right, fam. All right. For all my bad food takes, I'm in on this one.
Oof.
I just don't really like Mountain Dew.
Yeah, well.
That's fine. I know it's too extreme for a lot of people, but for me, it's nectar of the gods.
Agreed.
Too extreme.
I haven't tried.
That's the problem, dude. It's so sugary, man.
That could have been like a 90s Mountain Dew commercial. It's too extreme for adults.
That would have been Surge, bro. In the 90s, that was called Surge.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the reason I lost all my teeth, but we're good now.
Dude, Mountain Dew is nectar of the gods.
Wow. Right. Chat's pretty animated about this argument. We're split on Mountain Dew.
We're gonna go ahead and need to ban Mountain Poo here.
Mountain don't like that one.
Yeah, Baja Blast is bad, bro. It's bad. I can't believe Taco Bell was like, we're gonna get our own flavor and we're gonna pump it constantly, and nobody's ever gonna order it.
Have you tried the new flavor, the Vibe or whatever it's called?
The one that they came out with in the spring, the Major Melon one. It's okay.
Yeah.
I just want to say I went to Taco Bell yesterday and I got a Baja Blast. I actually paid for a Baja Blast yesterday.
Yeah, a Checo fan would like Baja Blast.
Yeah, all respect to the weekend Checo had. Okay,
that was awesome in Mexico, but
it was awesome.
When I saw it, because he was wearing that hat a couple days ago, and it looked like the Pecan Lodge logo.
Symbol. Yeah,
AJ from Dallas.
Let me tell you how excited I am for that in a few months.
I've got that sticker on one of my water bottles. I don't know where it is, but
that place.
All right. So we're pretty positive about Sampo, but
so let me just circle back and just kind of wrap up just my thought there with in regards to keep Rampo.
That's fine. We call him all kinds of shit. So
keep Sampo in the AHL for a while, because that is something that I do feel like is missed a lot. And I know we've even talked about it on the show since I've been back, that you see organizations do this all the time. It's just one of those things where, you have a young guy who's struggling, send him down. They send him down for 2 games. He has, 2 goals and an assist in 2 games, and they get trigger happy and bring him right back up. And it's like, cool. That did nothing for anyone. That helped absolutely no one. If you were going to do this, send him down there and let him follow the right process. You look at Alex Newhook and what he's done in his time since being sent down. And honestly, I think that is the right call up to make. I think they do need to get him into the lineup just with what he brings. I think that could be a real injection. But honestly, if this team was rolling, better than they are right now, that would almost even be someone that would say, leave him down there, leave him down there for a little bit. Let him keep doing what he's doing here. I don't think there ever needs to be a huge rush, with these guys. And I think there's actually a lot of organizations that end up sending guys down that end up really not benefiting anybody, the team, the player, the minor league team. So I just wanted to make sure that I touched on that I think that is something that's key for this, that if you're going to do it, commit to it, let this kid get acclimated in the way that he needs to.
So on the flip side of this Sampo
bring up?
conversation, who, if anyone, who do you bring up? Because first of all, as Jesse reported at practice today, Val Nichushkin in a full contact sweater, taking full practice. Is it that simple? Don't call up anyone and just drop Nichushkin back into the lineup?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so, but
you could.
No. Why would you? No, you don't. He played Saturday night in Columbus.
Did he? Am I dumb?
No, I mean Ranta. The comment that just was up on the screen. The comment that you here just showed. No, you don't. He played Saturday night in Columbus. You're gonna have him fly back just to play him in an AHL game? No, you don't need to push it that hard.
Yeah,
that one game, like you're so desperate to get him into a game that you're just gonna throw him into a back-to-back in a terrible situation like that. No need.
Not
especially like give him time. Send him down and be slow with it. So
thank you for the super chat, Rob. I have not heard of any Sammy G trade rumors.
There was a rumor aggregate site, a trade rumor aggregate site that was making it up today. And like I've been talking about it as more of like if this continues to go really poorly,
sure.
Conceptually, then maybe maybe that's where you start to look, but that is not something that you do until much later in the year. Probably not even this season. That's probably an off-season conversation, because you aren't looking at trading Sammy G and saying, "Oh, that solves our problems." And if you were going to trade Girard, you would want to at least look at seeing what you could get for Taves first, just based on the age of those guys involved.
Differences too,
like there's such a big difference between them in terms of age and contract that you would start with Taves first.
Yep.
So no, that's not. No, you're not doing any of that. You're not seriously doing any of that. Like I talk about it, and some of it is because I grew up in the internet and I just like throwing meat to the wolves sometimes.
Well, and also if someone walks up and offers you a ridiculous value trade for Sam Girard, you would do it. I mean,
we had these conversations. Like if Toronto calls and is like, "Hey, we're going to offer you William Nylander for Sam Girard," straight up,
you just go, "Okay."
You don't hang that phone up. Obviously, if Calgary calls up and says, "Hey, what about Mac and Chuck for Sammy G?" straight up, then you're having a conversation. You're talking.
Are you? That. I think you're dialing the NHL hotline immediately.
If it's Mac and Chuck, you're like, we're gonna go ahead and do this before you talk yourself out of it. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like there are things where if a team calls and is like,
there's a dialogue, sure.
If Montreal offers Nick Suzuki, that's one that you have a real conversation about, because like Mac and Chuck, William Nylander, you're like, done. That was a tough.
Those dudes are established studs.
Yeah, but like Nick Suzuki, you're like, probably gonna be pretty good. Like his game would probably, Is that an immediate answer? I don't know about that. But anyway, no, we're not going to worry too much about the same trade stuff.
To get back on topic, we're starting with Val Nichushkin, possible to return to the lineup Thursday night.
Yeah. So that helps you because he immediately drops in onto your second line next to Kadri and Burakovsky.
Yeah.
For the first time all year, Thursday night,
the top
they
six
will have their
complete,
established the top 6, their preferred top 6, the top
Potentially.
6 that
Hopefully.
they actually want. I mean, he's not in a no contact. McCarr in the no contact jersey makes me feel like it's pretty iffy. With Nuke, I'm assuming he's going to play.
So one of the things I
He's
talked
rolling.
about in the practice notebook, make sure to head over to DNVR.com to read it. Notes from practice this morning. What I thought was so interesting, Cale Makar was in a red no contact and spent a nice chunk of the optional skate doing board battle drills where he was wearing pretty heavy contact and then, he would kind of flip, rolls on that drill and was giving good contact. So he was wearing the red don't touch me jersey, but he was definitely getting in there, mixing it up. Wearing a lot of contact, fighting along the wall. So definitely instills a little bit of confidence that even though he's in the red, that Makar may be back. I didn't see him shooting.
Yeah, should he be wearing a red glove? Is that really what he should be wearing at these practices?
Yo, not going to call anybody out here, but there was a lady at the bar wearing Michael Jackson gloves the other night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, late at night when
gloves?
Most everybody, gloves, both hands, white like jewel-studded gloves, and I was like fascinated by this.
Yeah.
Anyway,
love it.
Fashion statement. Let's go.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm all about it.
I caught it out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And then
as soon as we start morning skate mimosas, I'm just going double diamond studded gloves.
It's Sherwood that wears the lace gloves under his gloves, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the one who looks like he's got the surgeon's gloves underneath, and you're like,
what's going on here?
Okay, weirdo.
Whatever works for you, I guess.
I can't even imagine like the feel of it. I can't imagine what that feels like. To have 2 layers between your hand and the stick is.
Dude, playing baseball, I don't even want one. I didn't use batting gloves or anything like that. But next game could be a theoretically healthy squad. They'll still be out without Francois. But he wouldn't play anyway. So
P.S. Darcy Kemper, go look at his last 5 games.
Pretty good. Okay.
There's an interesting. Sorry, I'm probably getting ahead of myself. Keep going. We were talking about Nichushkin.
Yeah. So Val coming back, I think particularly on a team that has missed a lot of the defensive details in the last couple of games, he's got to be a boon there, right?
Dude, and their transition coverage defensively at forward.
It's bad.
It's not like problem solved. Everybody will be good at this. But one, you take Ranta out of there because that was one of the areas where he was truly awful. You throw Nichushkin in there. That's a huge upgrade. That's going to help. But also you push some of these other guys down. You get Jost and Comfer actually in bottom 6 roles, not occasionally moonlighting and getting more minutes, right? And trying to play up a little bit. And you get consistent lines and not this nonstop tinkering because Bednar's just trying to find any kind of a spark anywhere in a lineup that doesn't make any sense because they're short on offensive talent. Like it just does so much for your lineup to get, even though I don't think Nichushkin sticks in your top 6 long term this year, his reliability and what he does well. Yeah. Like it's going to be a big, it shouldn't be this important to get Val Nichushkin back, but it means a lot right now.
Well, and you're going to get some of that, that try hard back. I mean, he skates so hard on the forecheck. He does great job pursuing pucks down low, putting pressure in the neutral zone. And that honestly is something that I know this is very repetitive, a lot of what you just said, but like that's something that they're definitely missing. And just someone who's going to go out there, chase pucks down, run guys into the wall, dig pucks out. Like he really is the type of player that they've missed way more than anybody thought they would through these first 10 games. Just everything he brings, the stuff that he does well, is a lot of it is what they're needing right now.
So is Val Nichushkin the rare candy? Is he going to turn the Avs from a Magic Carp into a Gyarados?
You fucking dork.
Hell of a reference. Hell of a reference.
Did you guys play Pokemon growing up?
Yeah, obviously.
I actually didn't. I played Pokemon as an adult.
Okay, well,
I got to
Pokemon
Pokemon
too,
as an adult.
All right, hold on. Do you have favorite Pokemon?
No.
Slackers. Slackers.
Yeah,
all the way
no,
around.
I don't think I have a favorite, but no, I remember Pokemon the Red Edition on my Game Boy Color.
Mhm. I had red too.
Wore that thing out.
My favorite Pokemon was Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon Snap is great too. Hard to argue with that.
I remember. I do just remember the one on the Game Boy Color that came with a little printer, like 2 megapixels across the entire thing. It was amazing.
I also have a favorite Pokemon move. It's called Stun Seed. It pretty much does what it says on the tin, right? So makes sense. Makes it super easy to beat Pokemon. But hey, chat, could you type Stun Seed backward for me real quick in the chat? It's probably going to take him a minute to get it in there, but
Such a complicated lead out.
it's okay. A couple of them already know. As you're typing it in, I'm sure you've realized that it says these nuts. So go on over to Manscaped, get yourself 20% off with code DNVR. Use the Perfect Package 4.0. You'll get free shipping if you order that as well. You all know how it goes. You can also get their new body washes. I got a couple, and they're quite nice. I actually quite like them. So check out their new products. They can also give you breath mints, shave mats, all sorts of stuff to take care of your body top to bottom. So we got them, boys. We got another one in the chat. We're good. Also, check out Hassel Cattle Company. They have a holiday special going on right now. You can use code DNVR15 to get 15% off all of their meats. Get whatever you want for the holidays. Maybe you're not a turkey man and you'd rather have a steak for Thanksgiving. I know I would prefer a steak, but check out Hassel. They can give you whatever you need, whether it be burgers, tomahawk steaks, sirloins, bone-in ribeyes, you name it. They got it all. Whatever you need, covered top to bottom. $200 orders get free shipping as well. So get the whole family together. Everyone gets steaks for Thanksgiving, and get yourself 15% off. Last but not least, be sure to check out DraftKings Sportsbook. They have the amazing odds boost every single day. Make sure you sign up with that DNVR code with a new account, and then you can get the real good stuff from there. Right now, when you bet $1 on either team, hang on, what does this bet say? They just changed it over to a new one. When you bet $1 on either team to score, you win $100 in free bets on any NFL game in the coming week. So unless the game ends in a 0-0 tie, you get $100 in free bets. Seems pretty likely. Jump on that one. You can also jump in with same game parlays. I know we're doing a bunch of the normal parlays, but it's always fun to get in on a same gamer. If you're feeling good about someone scoring a goal and then that team to win, you can usually get pretty darn good odds. So check out that way to combine multiple bets and boost your odds. DraftKings is super safe, secure, and reliable. And best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. DraftKings is an official sports betting partner of the NFL. You must be 21 or older, Colorado only. Other terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use that DNVR code to bet $1 to win $100 in free bets. Of course, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. So, Val Nichushkin likely to slot in, but the Avs still do have roster spots to play with if they want to. And let's be real, looking at the Colorado Eagles, it's hard not to get excited about both Alex Newhook and Mikhail Maltsev right now. They've both been kind of playing quite well.
13 points in 9 games. No love for Dylan Sakura at all.
Okay.
What an asshole.
Well, he's not a prospect. Sorry, bud.
Well, does that mean he's not getting called up?
He could well be called up, but we don't know yet.
Because for me, I think there are three obvious candidates, and it's the three that just got named. It's Sakura, it's Newhook, it's Maltsev.
Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised. I guess maybe you're having a conversation about Sherwood or something, but
he's already there. So
is he?
Yes.
I thought they sent him back down. All right, doesn't matter. Anyway, first of all, which one would you bring up? And secondly, do you actually play them on Thursday?
I'd bring up Sakura just to see if they'll give number 9 to another call up.
See if they do it again. All right. I like it. I like the answer.
Bring up Dennis Gilbert. He can't stop scoring. Matteau is still dead.
I honestly don't know. I think
I love that we refer to hurt players as dead.
Yeah, it's DED dead though. Yeah. You can't type the A.
Yeah.
It's just funny to me. It's like, is this guy still dead? Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't. Okay,
dude.
I don't know. I think it's
not how it works.
I think it's great that you're in a situation where you have three guys that you can look at and say all three of these guys are earning, call up opportunity. I don't know. I don't know how with where this team is at right now, anybody that can come in and inject some life into your lineup, I think is what you need. I think that's kind of why Dylan Sakura doesn't really come to mind for me, because dude's played NHL games. He's been around the league for a few seasons now. You kind of know what to expect out of him. I really do. I think that Newhook could be a guy that if he comes in and can start making those baby steps in the direction you want, that could be a real spark, for this team top to bottom, not just getting a young guy into the lineup and getting him, some reps and some looks. He could actually make a difference for this team, literally just with his play and his energy.
So, if I'm calling up Sakura, it's to not play him, to be honest with you. I think he's the guy you call up as an extra forward that ends up in the press box. But what I would want personally is Newhook, but what I think actually happens is Maltsev.
Maltsev's who I would call up.
So I expect to see Maltsev, if only because, one, he's a guy the Avs actively targeted, and we talked about that a lot. Two, the very aggressive way he was sent to the minors felt more like a, hey, we need better from you sort of message from the Avs.
I've talked about it. That was an accountability lesson that they taught him. That was not we don't think you can play here. We don't want you here. That was we have expectations and standards that you've got to live up to, and you're going to make mistakes that cost us two goals in a single game. Not that there weren't other guys on the ice, including a goaltender, but he was the primary culprit in 2 goals in a game where they gave up 3. So, I would say Maltsev makes more sense to me because you drop him in as 4C. Like, you drop him in as your 4C. I think he's going to be your 4C anyway. And then you have, Helm and O'Connor there. And then you have, Nichushkin on your second line, and you have Jost and Comfer and I guess Sherwood. You're kind of still trying to figure it out, right? But I think Maltsev is a guy that I like the idea of Maltsev just because he solves a problem for you. I like the idea of Newhook because he's the highest potential forward prospect in your entire organization. And the whole thing, out of all the guys not currently in the NHL, Alex Newhook is the guy that you have the highest hopes for turning into the highest impact player in the NHL. He had a slow start going down to the end to the AHL statistically. It's been much better, and he's sitting on 11 points in 10 games. There's no doubt Alex Newhook is going to be an NHL guy at some point.
So you've kind of led me to my next question here. Is there a world where they bring up two of these guys and send Jason Megna back, or maybe
I would love that, because Maltsev, you put Maltsev in Megna's spot, get rid of Jason Megna, who's not done anything for you.
Move Sherwood to the 13th forward spot, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have Newhook next to, I guess, Jost and Comfer, and then you have Maltsev next to Helm and O'Connor. And I'm like, great. This I like. That's a forward core that you're like, hey, these are some changes that maybe make you a little more dangerous. And I think that Newhook could help Tyson Jost find a little bit of the offense, because Tyson Jost doesn't like to shoot pucks. Tyson Jost doesn't have any confidence that when he shoots pucks, good things are going to happen. And you throw a guy like Newhook onto a line with them, and if they can forecheck effectively, if they can get after it, if they can really be effective, maybe, and instead of Comfer, maybe you put LOC there. Go dig pucks out, go win board battles. And you kind of just have like this weird mix of college graduates.
Frat life part 2.
Yeah, and I don't know. I like the idea of calling them both up. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do really. I mean, Newhook, highest upside guy, the guy that you're more comfortable moving higher on up into the lineup, and giving serious offensive looks to. Maltsev, a guy that I think becomes your 4C, a guy that will ultimately, when the first day of the postseason starts and the Avs find their way into the first round, I think Mikhail Maltsev is the guy that is in your lineup when that happens. I think that we're just delaying the inevitable here. He's clearly too good for the AHL. So I think we're just getting there.
Yep. Just waiting for the opportunity and for it to get going in the NHL in the right direction.
Yeah, and really I don't think Jason Megna's that guy. I think they're waiting for one of these young guys to boot him out of that spot and say, all right, this is my job now. I think Maltsev takes that job, and then Newhook you can play higher up in the lineup. If they call up Dylan Sakura, I'd play him over Jason Megna.
Yeah, but at least it's something different at that point, right?
Yeah, well, it's just like again, like Megna's not hurting them.
Yeah,
like he's not. I don't want it to seem. I've always been so down on him, but it's just because he's not an NHL player. He's a really good AHL guy, but he's just not an NHL player. He's just not, and he doesn't do a whole lot when he's up. And you look at it, like, bad things aren't happening. His underlines and analytics and stuff are actually great this year. And I think that gives them the cover to keep doing this for a little while, but he's just not doing anything.
Jesse, the chat is wondering a lot about the second line here. I see guys saying keep LOC up there to put Nuke back with Jost. I see guys saying YOLO Newhook up there. What do you think?
Honestly, I've been a fan of LOC skating on that line, just because I think he brings a lot of what they're missing right now. But I mean, like, look, you got to be honest with yourself. I think he's a great energy guy. He moves his feet. I think he's kind of exceeded everyone's expectations over the last couple of years. But I mean, that's not a second line player. Like in the NHL, at the end of the day, Logan O'Connor just is not a second line player. Kind of has that like John Mitchell effect from a few years ago where it's like, yeah, you can get away with it for a couple of games, him being right there, and he'll do a couple good things. And
John Mitchell was always such a weirdo as a bottom six guy, though, because he was a puck dangler. He could do fancy things. He had a decent shot.
He had a great shot.
He was like the opposite of a traditional bottom six guy. He had all the fancy skills and lacked a lot of like the grit aspect of things. So weird. And honestly, again, I fully agree. I don't think him and Logan O'Connor are like comparable players, but like he does have that kind of vibe to me where it's like, yeah, you can play him up in your lineup and get away with it. I think the ultimate goal is for Alex Newhook to be in that spot. I think if everything goes the way you want it to, yes, Alex Newhook is up in that top six. I thought Nichushkin and Jost were such a nice little pairing last year.
That's ultimately what I would like to see. But as you are working to that, honestly, I don't have an issue with Logan O'Connor staying in that spot for another game, maybe 2 as they are trying to get back on track, trying to get their legs moving, trying to get things going in the right direction. But ultimately, I think you do need to have your best players playing up in the lineup. I think Nichushkin starts there, but I do ultimately think they are trying to end up with Newhook there. I think you want Val Nichushkin in your bottom 6. That's where he's kind of best suited, playing alongside of Tyson Jost. But honestly, if we're just talking about for Thursday, I say regardless who you call up, keep LOC there.
My one argument that I wouldn't do that is you can't reward him for the mistake on the first goal the other night.
Yeah, no, and that's a great point. It's honestly, it's a great point. That's one of those things, and that's where he does kind of get.
That's too harsh.
Well,
he makes an obvious mistake, but also he has been one of your few consistent players all year.
Sure. Yeah,
and he's been one of the few guys that has actually set the tone you're trying to set every night.
And
he made a bad mistake the other night. There's no doubt. There's no getting around it. It happened, but also
and you pushed him right up into his skill ceiling. He hit that skill ceiling like a sack of bricks, and now put him back to where he works.
Well, see, and here, so this is my thing, because I in the ultimate cop out, I agree with both points. I can't be wrong, but to me, that's something where I say I like him there. I think it's a nice reward for how he's played this season and how, to AJ's point, he has been one of the few tone setters. But yeah, if that happens again and he does start losing a couple of those reads playing up in the lineup, then yeah, I think that is where you do see you need to shuffle him back down. But honestly, for me, I am willing to write that off as, hey, he made a bad mistake, just because what we have seen from Logan O'Connor over the last few years is he has gotten better every single time. He saw it. They've talked to him about it. He's watched the video. I say you keep him there for at least another game. Give him the opportunity to get it back. He scored a goal the previous game. He got burned on a bad one this past game. Cool. So he's kind of a wash on those types of things. I think you leave him there. Let Nichushkin get back to game speed at kind of a more sheltered pace. I like Logan O'Connor there in that top 6 for Thursday. But ultimately, unless he starts really taking big steps, if you got Logan O'Connor in your top 6,
well,
you probably got other issues.
Ultimately, what I think is going to happen is get your smoothie making materials out, because it's going to blend, baby. Bednar's going to play whoever's working in that spot. It doesn't matter if it's Kiefer Sherwood or JT Comfer or Logan O'Connor. Pick one, and anything in between, and you could see it.
Oh, the swap JT Comfer and Logan O'Connor. I was thinking, I said a couple days ago, I think it'd be interesting to get Logan O'Connor a few reps with Nathan McKinnon and Mikko Rantanen. I don't know if I'd plug him in there for an entire game, but
I mean, it worked last year or 2 years ago when they just dropped Matt Calvert next to McKinnon, right? For a little bit.
I think with where the team's
McKinnon.
I just think where the team's at right now. Again, reward one of your guys who has been doing a lot of the little things right, and put them with your big guys who are desperately needing to get those little things right. I think Logan O'Connor's definitely earned some looks. I don't think he's a long-term solution there, but especially as you're getting guys back from injury and trying to get their legs back under him, I don't mind him in that top 6 spot.
Yeah. All right. A lot of different options there. Any final thoughts from either of you on the Avs roster and stuff coming up?
I don't have final thoughts on that, but I do have a question.
Fire.
How do you guys feel about the idea of DNVR bathrobes?
So you must have talked to the same guy that I talked to about this.
I mean, it's been a thing percolating for.
Has it been?
Yeah, for a little while here, and I promised I would ask publicly about it.
Oh god!
Because I'm like, my answer is no. There are 6 of you that think this is a good idea.
There's no way enough of you would buy.
Okay, all right. Well, you guys are.
Is this a Manscaped read?
Cygnus is not the Cygnus And Morgan, do not get to answer this.
So is this like a plushy bathrobe, or is this like a silk? Like, you know what I mean? Because if it's like a nice like plushy, like what you get at like a real nice hotel, hell yeah.
See, Kevin wouldn't buy one. Here we go. Here's the
I
real
feel like
answer.
that's the real take.
Yeah.
It's neat, but no one would buy any.
Yeah, we already went down this route with hoodies where we were like, oh, if we released this Nathan McKinnon 8-bit as a hoodie, would people buy it? And we got like 1,100 people on Twitter who said yes. And then we made one and like 14 people bought one.
Well, so let's just do robes in like a limited edition run. 20. We'll make 20.
Sell them for
Get them
$1,000 a piece.
Yeah. $200 a pop, 20 bathrobes.
Yeah, and then these 6 people that want them would know. They would say, because they're like, I'm not gonna pay $200 for that shit.
Jorts would not sell to anyone.
I also don't have a final thought on the Avs roster, but I did just want to say we did our Hassel Cattle Company read in the last break. I had the Wagyu burger for the first time on Saturday. It got better with every bite. The first bite I took, I was like, yeah, that's a good burger. And then Hannah was actually looking at me funny because every bite after that, I was like, man, that is good. That's really good. Wow. And she was like, okay, relax.
We get it.
Yeah. But no, that thing's no joke, man.
Every time he mispronounces it, I laugh. I don't like to correct him because it just sounds funny to me.
Dude,
what?
like half this company can't say it correctly.
Yeah.
I swear.
How do you say it?
Wagyu.
Nobody saw Hannah at the bar the other day.
Yeah.
It's true. I didn't see her there.
Did you know?
Yeah.
No, you did not. It's true.
Yeah, we were there during the CSU game, and she took off before Avs started.
Yeah, he ran out of time on the meter.
Yeah. Snuck that person out through the kitchen, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't afford anymore.
Yep, understandable.
There you go. We can auction off the Moam chain too. Great. So I don't have to. I still have it on my counter, just sitting there.
So tiny, so cute.
It's something. All right. Well, I think we're done for the day. So thank you, everyone. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We will be back probably tomorrow. I'm not going to say 100%.
We are.
But okay. We're back tomorrow.
Ali asked me to confirm the week schedule, and I did it. We're doing 6 shows this week.
We're
Everybody
going
has to
6
get over
today,
it.
baby.
Woo!
Let's go.
I had one actual serious question for chat. As something that we've been talking about doing. What kind of interest would there be in us doing it wouldn't be live because that's how you get DMCA'd, but a pre-recorded film breakdown episode? Because it's something that we're talking about doing. Not more robe ideas, sorry. But something that we've talked about doing. Again, it wouldn't be a live thing, so we wouldn't be like talking to you, but if there's interest in it, then maybe it's something that I try and talk Rudo into even more. Look, a Sergio shirt would be something that I would absolutely be interested in. But that's just me.
Would the opposite of a plumber wear a bathrobe?
Bro, I don't know. Everybody's got to do what they've got to do when they get out of the shower. I just get dressed. I don't understand this whole bathrobe need, but whatever. Everybody different.
Yeah, the only time I want to wear a bathrobe is when I'm like sick.
Yeah, see, I'm a dry off like while you're still standing at the shower type person, and then
put your clothes back on and go on with your day.
With the towel. Yeah.
Whoa, Brad, what color is Sergio? We don't do questions like that on this show. I know what you're actually asking, but phrasing, buddy. Yeah. We have to come up with a color for Sergio, don't we?
What's red?
What's opposite of red on the color wheel?
Oh, we're about to hard expose ourselves here.
I feel like you have red and green and then yellow with Wario.
Green is opposite red on the color wheel, so great.
That's
only,
probably why Luigi exists.
Yeah.
the only primary color they don't have is blue. So,
Which even then, and like Waluigi's
He's
purple
purple,
is like
yeah.
pretty blue purple.
yeah, I don't know.
You give him like baby blue,
It'd be something dumb, right? It'd be
powder
like
blue.
he'd end up like gray or something stupid.
Like silver.
Yeah, there you go.
Silver Sergio.
You're one step away from him being the Silver Surfer now. So
Yeah.
Oh, we should totally have him be a surfer.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I can just see Marvel shutting this down. This stupid joke that we just won't let die.
okay,
Right.
before this goes off the rails, we're
Let's
out
get
of
outta
here.
here.
Thank you, everyone. We love you all. Again, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps us a ton on YouTube.
Rome.
We will be back tomorrow, probably wearing bathrobes and chrome. Until then, we'll talk to you later.
Yes, Chrome Bathrobe.